It was quite an honor when Amontaine asked me to do a theme song for the play Don't Call It a Riot. She was using Curtis Mayfield, song We're a Winner. I listened to that and decided that I wanted to make certain that that gospel aspect was there, even though it may not seem totally gospel. And went a little further, thinking about contemporary times, and a song that I thought was very important. It was Bruce Hornsby, That's Just the Way It Is. And with things today, how things are going, a lot of people are trying to go back to that time of that's just the way it is. And some things never change. Well, things do change. I decided to go with the piano and just do a supporting piano line and allow it to go through that time period, because the time period changed, and there was a time where it became a little more intense, so we raised the ante a little bit, and then we still speak from the same voice. Amontaine's title, Don't Call It a Riot, is so appropriate in so many ways that I figured that would be a good way to represent the peace that everyone feels even in the storm.
So my inspiration for the poster design is really conveying strong characters, making sure that the two ladies really look strong, but also that you can't really tell what is going to happen. Definitely lets you know that this is going to be a little bit heavy. You have the tears, you have the two women facing each other, that they're strong black women going through something during a certain time period. And it's in black and white. It's kind of delicate, but strong at the same time, I feel like. The new poster with the ensemble cast came about. Amontaine wanted to really showcase, all 5 members. I wanted to make it look kind of like a 70s poster to kind of reflect the times.
So when you're doing PR, you can't guarantee that an editor is going to write about you. They might be interested, write about you, and you can't guarantee it's going to make it in because something might happen and bump your story. But the idea is that it's more organic. For instance, Don't Call It a Riot isn't necessarily just for the arts community. Actually, it isn't for the arts community specifically at all. It speaks to people who are interested in social justice, the civil rights movement. There's a lot of little communities that they're not looking up all the theater listings every week. So even if you have a great show, you might end up preaching to the choir all the time if you can't find a way to communicate about that show to circles outside of the arts community. And so I think that's why you end up needing press even for a really great show like Don't Call It a Riot.
Social media coordination entails using the tools of social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, to sort of reach a larger audience and connect in ways that other sort of like newspaper reviews or other traditional pathways for advertisement don't necessarily do. Facebook is a kind of strange beast in that a lot of it is algorithms, and the more people engage with the post, the more people see it. So it becomes this very interesting little tango to make people interested and to also get it on people's feeds. Instagram and Twitter are similar to Facebook, but the way in which you engage with the public is very different. Instagram is very much a visual platform, so you're putting out pictures and hashtags are used a little more, and hashtags allow people who, whether they follow you or not, are able to see as a sort of like categorized inventory. And that's how a lot of people find new content. In today's social media landscape, it very much is about creating that space for people to feel involved, not only as spectators.
I'm not doing arts myself. In my spare time, I'm pretty much just consuming a lot of what other people do. Really, my fun thing is reading romance novels, which people think is silly, but I think it's great. I have so much fun. I'm all about escapism.
Right now, I'm in sales. I'm an account manager at an optics company. Basically anything that has to do with optics, cameras, lenses, lighting, anything. I help those kinds of engineers get the software and everything they need. So it's interesting because it's a different life. And then when I get home, I have a 7-year-old actually now who's amazing, Mr. Malcolm. So, taking care of him on top of then creating the art and trying to keep up with that.
I archive and am the communications director for a small arts organization called Common Area Maintenance. And I also am a freelance writer and currently write previews for Earshot Jazz. Don't Call It a Riot, I feel is, I think many people have said this already, a really timely piece. And the fact that it focuses on the interiority of people's lives who are activists and civil rights activists in particular, and those who have, by traditional media narratives, been really maligned. I think it gives another lens and scope to see how perceptions are sort of formed by the way in which we talk about history, and I think it just gives a lot of breathing room to see things very differently and maybe pick up the pieces that we, as a larger society, don't really know about. I'm
proud of the work that Amontaine has done, and I feel blessed. I've seen most of her plays. If she slipped one in, I don't know about it. Waiting for Billie Holiday, Trezor, Behind the Painted Veil. And with this right here, I hope that a lot of people see it, because the spirit of it is true, and I think everyone can relate to it if they can dismiss some of their preconceived ideas of what it may be. It's of great value.